Hello, Sir Joseph. How are you today?
I'm very well indeed, Sir Ashkan. Delighted to be here.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure to have you today and discuss your book. And moreover, I just do want to say a big thank you to Mr. Lee that introduced you to us around, I want to say 4 or 5 months ago. And from that initial introduction, it turned into friendship, brotherhood, and now a very close-knit partnership that I'm so excited about.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes. Lee has been a wonderful catalyst for so many very special things happening, and this is one of the most special indeed.
And with 91 Enterprise, one of the uh, one of the reasons that people like to come back to us is because we have a knack or an eye for rare or very unique or unheard of opportunities, experts, services, and products. And under that genre, I want to say meeting you, working with you, not only yourself as a wonderful person of integrity, value, the way you have created your company, Clear Sight Communication, is based on that. And what you do, profiling, the way I say, analyzing people's faces, you just don't do that because, as I was brought up, faces is really their essence, is really the blueprint of their soul.
Yeah.
And what you have done, you have given a, a big portion of your life to this study from numerous schools of thought and practices and philosophies. And now, as I say, you have become a world authority in this. And it's very, very rare to find somebody that has really embodied all those teachings in one. And you're a living a legacy of what we call profiling people's faces, analyzing them, you know, and there are different names. There is a technical name that you can let us know what is when it's technical. They say it's you're the expert of.
Physiognomy.
You see, and at the end of the day, it just goes back for you looking at people and really bring out so much that they thought they know. Sometimes we do self-discovery, we get to know each other, we find out our innate abilities, we find out what we're good at, things we don't want to do, things. But at the end of the day, you bring this secret in a way that, like personally, when you did my facial profile, I didn't know things about myself until I was able to read the analysis, and now it helped me for my 2024 objectives, whether it's for myself or my corporation or the things I want to do. I had to actually change some of those based on those very intimate and some life-changing information that you were able to bestow to me.
Oh, delighted to hear. It's my privilege. Thank you.
Now, in that regards, today, we want to focus on, I want to call a manifesto that you have written. And again, a lot of those secrets and ideas are in it that you call face facts. And this is your a book that made you an international author, bestseller, authority in this area. And it really made it's like a signature that made you not just what you do, but who you are, and people that, aside from knowing you, people who have enjoyed your services, they had a personal experience, but now people who have a copy of your book and read it, they understand the wealth of knowledge and all the wonderful secrets that it has. But at the end of the day, the question they ask is, who wrote this book? And then you're here and you're available, and they can get to the source, the master behind this manifesto. So today I wanted to just ask you a few questions in regard to this book, and just, however you like to uh, go about it. So some of our wonderful colleagues, our friends, or even the clients that have had the pleasure of using your services, maybe they can get more out of those. Either was it a recording you send them, or was it a video recording of their facial analysis, or was it that very famous written analysis that some people are privileged to get. So my first question is, who and what inspired you to write this book that we call Manifesto Face Facts?
Well, I had been asked by many people over, I don't know how many years, would I write a book or had I written a book? And I've always loved writing and I wanted to share the information, but I had so much. I actually started writing on a number of occasions and it was taking off in so many directions that I had to actually stop it. And I had to talk with a few people to get advice because I realized I simply had far too much information about faces because I've been reading faces for so long. So the advice I was given was to rein it back in and just make it something very simple and accessible for people. And I guess there were a number of people in particular because I've met some incredible people in my life. My father is probably my primary inspiration because he was a man of massive integrity. And I won't say I try to match him, but he's been all, even though he's been dead many years, he's like a mirror for me. Am I living up to my potential? And part of my potential, part of the expression of potential was writing a book.
Wow. 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 So if I got it correctly, you decided because the art of reading faces or analyzing them or profiling them, it's very intense. It's very deep. So it requires, sometimes massive amount of data that you need to write for people to understand or get. And because of that, some people might get confused or overwhelmed. As a result, you decided to write the book that's called Face Facts that brings some of these, into perspective of, us, that we don't have those teachings or trainings that you have skills to be able to comprehend some of these analysis, correct?
Absolutely, because this is an ancient tradition. What I'm working with is primarily a 3,000-year-old Chinese tradition, although I've taken information from other areas as well. And there's huge depth of knowledge and understanding there and deep wisdom. And when I'm really looking at people, I see who they are. I don't just see what's on the surface, and I'm not concerned with whether somebody is conventionally beautiful or handsome or any of those things. I'm looking at who the essence is, the person, and sometimes they don't know it. So part of what I'm looking to do is have reveal that to themselves and bring out more of who they really are and the best of who they really are. So that takes a commitment on my part, and sometimes one of the first things when I look at people, I will see their pain. I will see the level of pain people are holding in their lives, and whether that's something that's current or whether that's something they've held for many years. So often it's the pain people are holding on to, or the memory of pain that people are holding on to, that holds them back from really expressing themselves in the world or allowing life to express itself through them, which is the way I like to describe it. And when we're in that place, we create so many, if you like, clouds within ourselves and around ourselves that we're not showing the very best of who we are. It might come out intermittently, but it's not consistently like that. So I have to be at times quite diplomatic, at times quite delicate, and at other times very direct with people to help them understand and appreciate themselves.
Be very painful. Yeah, it can be very painful, or yeah, I totally get that. Thank you for that analysis of that part. My other question is for you is, even we talked about the book, as I call it, also a manifesto. Face Facts, right? How did you just about the title, like why not analysis of faces or facial profile, or even the technical name? Why Face Facts? So just specifically, why that title?
Okay, it was actually I was talking with a friend of mine and we were bouncing ideas around. A good friend of mine here in Ireland, Joe Dalton, and Joe played a huge role in helping me find the right people to put the book together, like the cover and design and all of that. And he actually came up with the name Face Facts because I wanted something that was quick, short, precise, and gave the message very, very
face
clearly and
facts.
cleanly. Yeah.
And you know, as I'm new to this service experience, I can see when somebody sees your book, Face Facts, you know, they can quickly get an idea about the book and what it entails. So for sure, thank you for that answer. My next question is, do you think this is your essence, what you're doing right now? Is it from your essence? Is it an innate ability? Is it skills that you have acquired? Well, how do you categorize, you know, this very, when I say this very special um, talent you have?
I guess some of it I was born with. There's no doubt about that because I've been reading people since I was a small child. I intuitively knew so much about people, but I did do a lot of formal study also, and I've been teaching this subject for pretty much 40 years now. And the learning is continuous. There's always something new to learn, something new to reveal. And as I grow myself, and as I go past my own old conditioning and limitations, that opens up depth of, if you like, insight and understanding within me, which helps me
Wow.
to help others.
So this is an ongoing, not just mystical, it's not just philosophy. It's like any other science. It's ongoing. The learning and the teaching. Oh, wow. That's really, thank you for that. My other question is, do you think this is your legacy?
I think it's part of
Some
it. It's part
part
of
of
it,
it?
but I still feel I'm only at the beginning,
Oh,
that
wow.
there's so much more to come
After
because
40 years and
yeah,
wow.
life wants to express more, and life is calling me to express more and to do it, always to do it better. And not I don't mean that in the sense of being self-critical, but there's all life wants to reveal more. So it's for me the challenge is for me to be open to that.
I see. And that brings me maybe to the next question that is related. Uh, what are you yourself personally trying to achieve by this? Uh, I want to say, you know, I want to say the right word by this teaching, by this way of life, by this wonderful method, you know, or philosophy, and also what you're trying to achieve through your clear side communications, you know, with this art. And if you can give us those two answers, which is one is personal to you and one is probably subjective to you, and then one is objective through your organization.
Yes, I'm always looking to improve my skills, my understanding, my awareness, my ability to connect with people, and that never ends. So the more I open to myself, the more I open to others, the more aware I become of what I'm presenting to the world and how I'm doing it, the more aware I am also then of what people are presenting to me, because the information presents itself. We don't actually have to go searching for it. And what I'm about is helping people to create exceptional relationships. That's my aim. As many people as possible to create exceptional relationships in their business lives, their personal lives. And that starts within.
Wow, that is actually one of my biggest objectives that whether was younger in a corporate business or in entrepreneurship or in foundations, any of those areas, I always you know, I was after uh, authentic people that I could create relationship with. And I wish I met you then, but not too late. You have been even to myself, you have been a wonderful support and a privilege for me personally, and also when now I want to create a new partnership or a new sensitive relationship. You know, I have you to give me some guidance, give me some of these wonderful attributes that can actually not just knowing that I'm walking into a good relationship myself, how I could be a better person for the other party. So it's not just the information for me. When I hear some of the face facts about these parties that I'm going to be going into relationship, it allows me to understand how I could serve them better by this information. So it's not just on my side. It's really like yin and yang. So it's very like two-sided. So I just wanted to give you that personal, I guess, testimonial from myself, even though I'm new, new client, new experienced user, and I'm becoming an advocate. Aside from having a privilege to have you as a partner to showcase you as you deserve, but also I'm becoming an advocate, a personal advocate of your teachings
Thank
and
you.
your method. My next question is, I know that there might be many different areas of importance from the science. And again, if people can um, even understand, I still don't have the right words how to articulate this wonderful method that you're bringing. So I have used many words to describe it: science, philosophy, way of. Okay, so uh, what are some of the most important points that you wanted this, just give us two, three about this science.
Well, the first thing is, and this is a general point, is that it's not about making judgments. It's about making observations. It's not making judgments about anybody. It's purely about making observation. And for me, the most important thing about that is it should be an observation that's helpful rather than negative, negative criticism. The next thing then is really, when we're looking at somebody, it's to get ourselves out of the way as possible. And we're all, as human beings, we're all subject to many forms of bias, or whether it's confirmation bias, a positivity bias, bias of any description can get in the way, and it can lead to mistakes, quite frankly. So the first thing is to, as far as possible, get ourselves out of the way, allow the information to come to us, and when we're in a shall we say, a receptive and neutral state. Again, so that we're not making judgments, good, bad, or indifferent, and we're just making observations.
Observation.
Yeah.
And thank you for clearing that, because this is a very sensitive and potent information that can, it's just like anything else. It has to be dealt with care and a right mindset, a positive mindset. So thank you for saying, because some people might actually uh, uh, understand it as judgment or a critic, but actually, like everything else, a right observation that is true and direct can actually not only solve a lot of issues, can better lives, can help people advance, and sometimes they can unblock, what they have been years been blocked by, what it was some assumption they have, some perception, something somebody told them. With these face facts, they have a new way to look at things differently, whether it's personal, subjective or objective, and create a new chapter of their lives. And there's so much that can be said about your system. I'm calling it system now, right? And I don't have the right words. It's like an ocean of wisdom, I could say, and it could have no name. It's just like anything else, that these secrets were available. You put your lifetime to achieve the understanding of many areas of it, and you still are learning and growing. Like anything else, it's not stop. But people now have a chance to come to you, whether if they already have your book, read some of these wonderful observations, and that I don't want to give out the book. They can get the book from you, or actually they can have the opportunity to work with you, the mastermind behind the face facts, or work with your clear side communication. And this one of the reasons that I wanted to do this very um, personal and a comfortable conversation, and not an interview, was just to have you as you are. Because whenever I talk to you, whether it's for personal, whether I'm your client, whether I'm working with you as a partner, or I like, sometimes, as I say, it's sometimes people ask me, Ashkan, what is it you like to do? I like to present. I like to showcase. I like to serve people with things that are extraordinary, that they are amazing and are true. And because when you do that, or when I do that, people always call me, and their lives has changed for better, and they have the things they want, or for the organization. And when I heard about you, when I got to know you, now that I'm working with you, that's why I'm so excited about you. It's not another offer, not another service I want to offer. I am offering a new way of life to them now, a new way they can see themselves or their partners or their friends or how they're going to interact with themselves and others, even through their company. It's just the application of what I'm learning and what I'm applying from you and your method is it's endless. That's why you find me even usually I'm happy and excited, but you find me extra jubilant. And my when I work with you, the level of my enthusiasm is like at 12, not even 10. So I just wanted you to, as we are doing this conversation, for some people out there to know that also I'm a living testament, a consumer of you. And of course, I will give you a very good testimonial separately. Okay. Now, on the next question, what does a face reveals? Just generally,
Oh, it reveals so much. It reveals so much about our character, our personality, behavior style, how we communicate, both in terms of how we process and absorb information, and then how we communicate externally, whether we're a team player, whether we're more, as we would say in Ireland, a do-it-yourself person, whether it tells a lot about stress triggers and responses. I learned it initially as a diagnostic tool, one of the diagnostic tools used in traditional Oriental medicine. So it can tell a lot about our health. It also tells about the genetic influences from both sides of the family. So the right side of the person's own face reveals the genetic influence of the mother's side. The left side of their face reveals the genetic influence of their father's side. It can also tell about our relationship with our parents. The ears tell about the first 14 years of life, but they also tell about our grandparents and their relationship. So there's so much there on a face, so much.
okay.
And it's
I'm flabbergasted. I don't have words. I I just got into next question. I cannot comment on this. It's too deep for me. My next question to you is uh, why read faces?
because we all do it. Actually, we all do. We just don't tend to realize we do it. Like it's hardwired into us. We've only had verbal language for somewhere between 150,000 and 200,000 years, but our in one form or another, we've been here for a lot longer than that. And our ancestors survived because they could read faces and body language. They had to know instantly whether somebody coming over the hill or coming across the plain, as it was a friend or foe. They had to know instantly about the character, the personality of the people they were meeting. And we have this within us. So when we meet, and like if you think about it, the reality is when we see a face for the first time, we tell ourselves a story about the face. Like you imagine you're going to the movies, you look at the face of any given actor or actress, you tell yourself a story about who that person is, and their job is obviously to convey a story about the person that they're portraying. But every time we see a face, particularly the first time, we tell ourselves a story about who that person is, whether it has anything to do with them or not. And if you go again, just going back to the idea of the movies, even going back to the early Walt Disney, the animations, like the stereotype of the witch with the bony, pointy fingers or pointy features, where that conveys a message. Where you have the opposite, then you have like Bambi with the round features and the big eyes. And when we see like roundness like that, we soften. We go, it's like it reminds us of a baby. So we're doing it automatically. We just don't realize. But when we learn to do it consciously, it reveals so much about the person we're speaking to. And it tells us about how to create a bridge with them. Or in some cases, unfortunately, that are better avoided.
Wow. So you're saying that these are some of the skills and knowledge that people can actually acquire consciously through your book, Face Facts. Right.
Yeah.
Wow. I know my cup is on the way.
Yes, absolutely.
I know that. my next question is, what will the readers gain?
Yeah, the readers.
Even though you did insinuate in the last question in your reply.
Yeah, it's a very practical book. What I've done is I've broken it down to make it really accessible to people. So it's like a series of like sort of 6 foreheads, 6 sets of eyebrows, 6 eyebrows, 6 sets of eyes, 6 noses, kind of thing, and different, the different variations in each and what they mean in terms of communicating with the person, in terms of their personality. And I've given a visual of each of those features so people can see exactly what it means. So once we start to practice, and I recommend people start with one feature, whatever feature they're drawn to, start with one feature and start observing. And once people start to observe, what they'll find is their intuition, their deeper instincts really come alive again. And they start to become aware, oh, that's what that means. Yes, I saw that. Now I understand. So it's a simple, accessible tool or set of tools for reading people and connecting with them, not just reading them, but connecting with them.
You I had another question. You just answered it. My question was, how do you recommend readers to develop their skills? And yeah, because this could be daunting. It could be like, as I said, is a wisdom of ocean. It's an ocean wisdom of many different things that and some people might get overwhelmed. How do I start? But it's just answered. They can start with one trait and go forward. Now, why you decided to write this book? And usually people, when they have their business, they have their trade, they have their secrets, they have their way of making this is a way for you. This is a professional way for you. That's how you make money. This is how you create uh, blessings for you to continue what you do. Why did you decide to write such a book and then release and like Bruce Lee, bring out so much of these values that otherwise people would have hired you to do? Why did you decide to do that?
Yeah, and it's just a fragment of what I know. But I want people to have these skills because I want people to make connections. I want people to have relationships. Like we know, like obviously the world has turned upside down over the last few years, and there's an epidemic of loneliness. And it's even more important now that people understand how to connect. And the fact that we're technically speaking the same language doesn't mean we're actually speaking the same language, because so often what's happening in people's lives is they're talking at each other or they're talking across each other. And when we really understand who the person is we're speaking with, it creates a depth of connection. It creates a depth to our communication because we actually understand how to speak to them in a way that they best appreciate and that the way that they best absorb and process information. So it takes away a lot of the barriers that are there when we simply don't understand. It removes a lot of the misunderstanding and miscommunication. And like I say, creates a bridge.
Oh, wow. This is amazing. I'm actually from today's very comfortable conversation, I'm learning much more about you, what you do, how you do, and how I can actually even better present you. Thank you for being so open and transparent. And it's just that now I could see why what you do, not just your book, yourself, it's so needed where we are, even though we have all these wonderful tools of social media that we could be on and express ourselves, but really it doesn't take away what you said, the element of loneliness, because as humans, as much as we are on social media, it will not be sufficient. It's not going to be a solution to a true interaction, interpersonal relationship, especially for people that are like us. They love to be with people. And, I don't even want to go in a topic of AI and what that's going to do. Just how you mentioned, simply. And in these times, a lot of people are lonely. And now with having, your book or having the opportunity to hire you, they can have a set of new skills to embark on, whether if they are social this could be actually a life-changing, a new set of tools that they never had by walking into these wonderful conferences that we are part of, whether it's online, uh, virtual, or it's sometimes even better when it's in person. Now they can go with more enthusiasm, just observing people. And by observing, I was brought up that when you talk to somebody, and it's an intimate conversation, it's an important conversation, you should be looking in their eyes
Yeah.
and create that connection. But now you have even opened it up more by looking at people's faces. Not only you're looking at their eyes, you actually are giving them 100% acknowledgement of I'm here. And and I know that as I want to expand my skills in this area, when you have those sort of skills, when you have new conversations or you're engaged in conversations with your partners, it will help in many areas to have better communication, to have more fulfilling conversations, to have more, um, I want to say, uh, essential conversations. At the end of the day, effective, whether it's our communication to have a certain desired goal, or asking someone to do something, or it could be in a way of argument, that it could actually offer a way that we could able to communicate, to have that argument be be handled, and there might be a amicable solution to that, versus other alternatives that we know somebody
Yeah.
get angry. Sometimes if it's business and we're not able to communicate it through, amazing partnerships will end, and it goes into legal and things. And so I'm just myself, as I'm developing everything you said today, there's so much that can be done. If we, what one thing we have to be open to it. We need to want to read the book, want to learn, and if we have that as people who we do networking, social, this becomes a must have. Your book becomes a must have, a manifesto for networkers, that networkers or people who do social networking, they do business conferences, they do this. Everyone needs this. And the second part that I wanted to emphasize is actually it can become a tool for people who are, shy, or introvert, and by nature, it's harder for them to show up into masterminds. It gives them a confidence that, I I always wanted to attend summits and network, and I usually don't go because I'm a shy person. Now it gives them a, like, oh, I want to go and test my skills, and it
Yeah.
gives them a, it can turn some of these people into overnight social, the new social and network experts. So I just see enormous applications of what this can do to people themselves, what they do, how they do, and their businesses. I want to ask maybe a last question for you. Um, is there going to be a sequel to this book?
I would say there will be, but
Oh, okay.
it's not. It's it's all in my head at the moment. So
It's
I'm not
working.
sure. I'm not sure when.
Okay.
I'm more focused on putting together courses and programs. But I would expect there will be. So watch this space.
Perfect. That brings me to one of my objectives for you. That when I started getting to know you, working with you, being a client, now having a pleasure to work with you as a partner, I saw an immediate need for academy, okay, the academy, and and you just answered. I didn't even know that you are working on some courses. I believe that um, Sir Joseph McGuire needs to create a authentic and face back academy, and we always can come up with a good name, I guess, for it. But it's needed because now you're the master, so now you can create students of this trait of the academy, and they could start doing what you're doing. Of course, they have to put many years and they have to do the work that you did. But I'm sure there are people out there that are looking at you, say, you know what, I want to become him. How long does it take? How do I start? Well, not just for those wonderful potential students for you. One of the reasons I did the conversation is uh, people now can have opportunity. This specific conversation was geared around your book. Of course, we did talk about you, your background, your company, and what we're doing together. But it was really the emphasis was on the book. So my first call to action for people who are going to watch this is get the book, right? So how do they get the book?
Okay, there's two options. I know some people prefer like ebooks, Kindle, so it is available on Kindle through Amazon. But if people want a signed hard copy of the book, they have to come directly to me. So my website is clearsightcommunications.com, and you can order a hard copy directly there.
So you're saying that whoever orders a hard copy automatically comes with a signature of this World Authority author, right? You.
Absolutely, yes, that's
That's
me.
very
Yeah.
nice. Okay, that's very okay. So make sure you guys do that. Of course, when I share this video, it will have the link for all of you to grab the book, and that's the idea. We want to encourage you to either, if you are comfortable online, to get it on Kindle or get the hard copy. Like I decided, I want, back here, I have all these books. I love. I mean, there. I love my book, so mine's on the way. Get your book, get your manifesto of face facts. And the second reason that I wanted to do this is to showcase yourself, to just show some of, I'm sure my friends, my partners, all over the world, whether they're here locally, nationally, internationally, they're going to see you. I wanted them to see what I see. What a humble, a wonderful gentleman with such a business etiquette and such a character trait that I have rarely seen. And you have not been just the same with me now. You from the get-go when I saw you have never changed. And you have really become somebody I call wholesome. Okay. Some people might reach a certain level expertise or mastery in a way of life, and but they have not uh, create a oneness with it. And that's okay. They are an expert of or they're a master at. But you have really become one with this. And what makes it even more beautiful when people, necessarily, uh, whether they got the book or not, when people know that they have opportunity to uh, hire you, right? It's not just what you cover they get. Do you know what they get? Even beyond everything we talked about, when people have a chance to hire your services, um, they get you, right? That actually you're not in the book. or these are the reasons I do these conversations for people to understand, beyond your face, there's this incredible gentleman that now I call my brother, friend, partner, and you're so wonderful that when they have opportunity to hire you through one of your services, they might get used to you. And you, aside from being a wonderful, face facts expert, we say today, you are a wonderful communication and many other genre, coach advisor. And of course, we will cover that in other days, but I just wanted people to know a little bit about what's behind you, your face. Is this amazing gentleman that I try to describe. This wholesome gentleman that just having a relationship with you as a friend, as a partner, um, as a colleague, as an associate, it's very rare and it's very blissful and it's very fulfilling. So for lots of our friends that know you or have known you, my message is, do they really know you? Do they really know what's behind your face? I really tell people that when we know ourselves, our friends, our even close relationships like our wives, our children, our colleagues, naturally, even myself, we get used to it, to these relationships. And it's very good. Like every year, as it's really a good time now, we ask ourselves before 2024, how was my year? It's time to slow down, take an inventory of what we have achieved for ourselves, for our company, and also in the area of spirituality, and many other areas. It's also good to ask these questions, that the relationships that I have, that some of them are sacred, that has been given to me and I've acquired this year, what did I do with it? you know was I after the social media to find lots of more followers? And I maybe, I'm even talking to myself, and I neglected some of these amazing sacred relationships that have been given to me, either by way of family or sometimes by way of business. So we have to ask ourselves, at least a takeaway for some of our audience and ourselves, you know, maybe we should also take a look at, uh, our relationships, and then see which ones we can actually expand for the new year, and some of those relationships we need to lessen. But
Yeah.
the point was, I wanted to give the opportunity of the people who know you, they're going to watch this, to kind of, do their analysis of Sir Joseph. What is it they need to do if they have a partnership with you, if they're a client, if they're a friend, if they're an associate? What is it they need to do with this secret and a sacred relationship of Sir Joseph McGuire for 2024, right? So this is, I wanted to bring that out there to them. And for the lucky few that are going to know you, uh, you know, when they have a chance to read your book or have a chance to hire you, or probably see you as many different, your podcasts, you get always interviewed. And when they see you, what is it that they want to do with you? Is it that they want to become a client, or is it that they want to become a student at the upcoming academy? So I wanted people to really have these questions linger around them when they see your face, the face of the Sir Joseph McGuire, right? And that's it's a good segue how to end. But I also want to do say that, here, people are seeing behind you. First of all, they see you, and again, we encourage them to get the book. The link gonna be in the, in the wherever the video gonna be posted. Number two, we want to welcome you guys to. We're gonna have a special offer. Uh, Thanks to Sir Joseph, he has created a partnership with our company, 921 Enterprise. People know us for our relationships in corporate, in entrepreneurship and foundation, and some, and they know we bring rare experts, services, products, and part of that promise, we really want to give them all at the same time. We're gonna package you and present you. We have a wonderful three opportunities that is limited from 901 Enterprise, which we will also include in wherever you're going to see this conversation. So you have opportunity not only get the book, also you have a rare opportunity to hire the master, and that gives me a sense of gratitude and a sense of accomplishments, that I did something good. I have acquired a wonderful partner that can bring all the things we talked about and more, but in a very delicate and a simple and a beautiful way. So that's my thing. I just want to do cover that. You have a beautiful quote, aside from the wonderful book, how it looks like, the face facts, right? By Sir Joseph McGuire, the logo of your wonderful organization, Clear Sight Communication, that I also uh, tell people to go check out. There are a lot of other opportunities there. Uh, I want to end with this quote. I want to give you the floor, take about 2 minutes. And if just give us a beautiful takeaway message around this quote that is behind you that says every face tells a story. What's yours?
Yeah. Yeah, it's who do we wish to be? Who do we wish to be? Who do we wish to be seen as? How do we wish to be seen? And our face reveals so much about who we are, how we are, where we've come from, and where we can be going. There's an old Chinese proverb which says, if you don't change direction, you'll end up where you're headed. So if we're not happy with our lives for whatever reason, there's always, always, always an opportunity to change, regardless of our circumstances, because the change comes from within. And when the change comes from within, our eyes sparkle, our eyes light up, and our eyes reflect something quite beautiful, something magical about who we are, who we can be to the world. And we transmit a very different and quite beautiful energy to people. And our skin tone changes, our skin brightens. We lighten up literally from the inside out. We become like a beacon for people. And when we become that beacon, wonderful things happen. And we transmit a whole different vibration, a whole different message to people without even saying a word.
Wow. You know, I'm glad that this is recorded so I can go back to watch the conversation. Okay. And especially this what you ended with. That's like a beautiful way of why you're doing all this. You brought it all home with that. I'm Ashkan Tabibnia, founder of Non-Tone Enterprise, showcasing Sergio the McGuire, the founder of Clear Sight Communication, and the author behind Face Facts that today we highlighted. It was my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much.